when you get into that engagement, when Strider breaks into the defensive line of DSP, they don't really have a response. They all seem to scurry away or attempt to regroup, all going different directions, and it gives an opportunity for them to be picked off. But that's not to say that they went down very easily. They still took one of the sub maps off of GeForce in that previous map, and it was in a dominant fashion as well. So there's still a strong capability coming in from DSP, and I believe for the next map, for map 2, we are going to be going over to Havana.
Yeah, Havana's going to be not too bad, actually. It offers an opportunity if Dude Sleepover can play a form of rush-based composition on their defensive strategy to hold the spawn door. By holding the spawn door, you limit the space available. You are going to allow space in behind you, but in order for that hamster to get in behind you and to find a slam engage on your supports, to be able to go behind you and get that flank, they're going to have to roll right past you. And how can I say this? It's really, really difficult to not see a 600 HP, about 7 foot tall, massive hamster in a ball rolling past your team and out of the spawn door that you're camping. So there'd have to be some colossal errors from DSP to allow Strider unsuspected out, though they can't really sneak him around the back like you would be able to with maybe something like a Tracer or especially a Sombra. So a great opportunity here for DSP to go with the spawn hold, and as I say, that's exactly what they're doing. Glacial going to be in. Glacial by name, fitting that they are on the main, going to be so good at helping slow down the momentum of the Wrecking Ball so they're not able to generate that fire effect and get that roll through damage, that 50 cleave onto everyone to be able to soften the targets up for Web and Pumi to finish off. And for GeForce,
absolutely, we gotta watch out for that. Oh, sorry. Oops. With this squad, I'm excited to see the Cassidy as well. That's going to be important. Strider has always been in that moment, in that back line. You know, you have that flashbang that will be crucial to bring along and stop that play, but they aren't even going to fight that way. They're going to TP outside, and that is a nice little counteract just to not have to worry about that flank, not worry about the chokehold, kind of fight in that more open space. I wonder if this will actually bring any fruits of their labor. I mean, anyhow is going to face that dominance, and that initial fight doesn't go their way.
No, that I really do like the TP, but unfortunately Strider going down meant that they knew the Hammond engage could not come, so they just walked on the Sigma. They are actually losing so many because of it. Once the hamster respawns, the slam comes in. Madero doing Madero things, was such a dominant force in the kill feed, was ever present in that left-hand side in map 1, and while Dude Sleepover Party managed to counter the initial part of the plan, they forgot about the respawns, they did not concentrate, they did not finish up, they did not stack back together. And well, G4 sort of play them with their own game. They take the start right in the face, they tank it, and now they're going to be rolling into a second fight. They look to take first hit. Web, by the way, with that damage boost from Angelic. Duplicate ready to go already.
Got it. I'm imagining might bring in the Reinhardt the second that it becomes necessary, but, you know, they're just doing the damage themselves. They don't need to worry about it just yet. Huge in terms of impact here from Ultimate Weapon. It will be Joshua flailing around, hoping to make something work out for them, but it will be another reset.
Yeah, Ultimate Weapon is literally a Ultimate Weapon level of Killing Machine. This is the mother of all echoes right here. G-Force so reliant on this echo for damage and most importantly execution with that focusing beam. Web's done so well here. They've got a bunch of ultimates G-Force now have ready to go, and once again DSP has got to rotate into them on a Reinhardt comp. This could go.
Okay, well, there's the Dragon Strike, sending it right through that barrier. Whoa! Drop into the Cassidy duplication. Doesn't find anything. The flashbang doesn't even get a stun, but it doesn't matter because the follow-up from the rest of the crew is so dominant. Ultimate Weapon, they're better off in the regular Echo form.
They really are. It is a duplication debuff there for Ultimate Web. Now, though, DSP have a little bit of potential to kick back. They're going into an enclosed space, and we saw, didn't we, Loss, in map 1, how G4 struggled with this Wrecking Ball composition on Oasis University. Now they're in a similar enclosed space. There's not as much flank opportunities for Strider to be able to pincer. So DSP, they've got some great ultimates to be able to help control that space as well. It looks like they're going to take an early rotation onto this high ground and then pass onto the cart and really force G-Force back.
I think we gotta just talk about... I mean, we're going to be talking about Ultimate Weapon this whole time. They are unabated. There is no chance that Jazza, while they are on the Cassidy, they want to shoot down, but nobody can stop Ultimate Weapon. Not to mention, anyhow, following through with just great efficacy and great peel as well.
Yeah, it looks like DSP have gone for the mirror That's very bold. They are trying to play G-Force at their own game, and I'm not quite sure that I like it. G-Force have now got great spam opportunities. They're ahead in ultimate charge, and they're more familiar with this composition. DSP, it's going to be such a bold swap. If they do it, Jishua losing mech early in this fight is not going to be good as this payload. 3 minutes left, and it's looking to roll into second already.
Okay, already in the back line. Oh, Jason. Oh, no. That is not what you wanted to see, but they will lose their life and really all control of the distillery. Another, I guess, okay use of that duplication coming out from Ultimate Wep. It does allow them to... Honestly, it's just health. It's just extra health for Ultimate Wep. It doesn't give them any damage advantage.
What Web does basically just takes the tracer so they get a free pass. They use it for their mobility to blink themselves perfectly onto Shaq. They hit, I think, half of the clips that they managed to get out before they got popped, but it's just brain dead level mechanics from Ultimate Web there because they do not care about getting killed in that tracer form because they just pop back out. Their execute is off cooldown and they just take Shaq straight back to the spawn room. Speaking of getting taken back to the spawn room, Jason once again killed early. Glacial follows him too, and DSP, they are crumbling now, falling, and they are giving up everything over to the side of G-Force right now.
Strider with so much health, so much buff is just swinging around. They aren't even fighting anybody, but this is a bit of an issue. Now they've got the hack, but they won't die. Not
no way.
Yet. Save the day. They'll get out of this one.
Oh,
that's
no.
crazy.
How does Strider live? Oh, it's egregious. And now, I mean, they're just going to get punished. These ultimates are going to come in. This Transcendence has been popped to keep everyone nice and tanky, and DSP, once again, they're bleeding, and they're bleeding fast.
And this is just a stagger. I mean, all alone is going to be Shaq. He's done. What else can be done? This is going to be an easy breeze across the bridge. Another sacrificial duplication at the ready. But what else are they going to worry about? Lots of check marks to work with.
Yeah, they don't even have the EMP. DSP, that's their primary win condition to be able to shut off all of these important ultimates that G-Force have got, which is literally 5. By the way, Jason falling, that's no entry pivot to go in, no slam engage. And DSP, I think it's just about draining the time bank at this point. This round's over.
Finally, Strider might die. Yes! This is what they've been waiting for. They put so much efficacy into taking them down, but what else will follow it? Chaz does stay alive, might be able to get a hack once that barrier breaks, but an EMP coming out from Gumi is huge. Nothing they can do about it. They're hacked, they're outmanned, they're outgunned, but Jazz does get one hack to stop the bombardment from anyhow. Regardless, they don't have enough manpower to stop this fight. Oh, Jason drops down, but they'll soon drop instead. The sustain coming up from the Transcendent just too much. They can't fight back. It's got to be over right now.
Well, they are. I think they were outmanned, they were outgunned, and they were outplanned. It was Yorktown all over again, but unfortunately, the Cavalier in the Night wept on that Sombra, which they duplicated, by the way. That was actually Wet's EMP that came out. It was not Pummy's lost. Got confused because, I mean, it's expected Pummy was charging them up so quickly, has been charging them up so quickly across these two maps, but Wep actually copied the Sombra and built up an EMP in about 5 seconds to deliver the killing blow to DSP, and unluckily for them, it's an early bedtime for DSP right now. That's 2 minutes 7 on the time bank. G-Force blitz through Havana.
That was a true assault. They had no way to stop it. And there was an opportunity just in the beginning in that unorthodox setup. Actually, no. I would say it was commanded from the get-go. G-Force knew what they were doing, able to circumvent that close hold with the teleporter just to create a little bit of chaos. The flow of the initial setup from DSP never got to be cemented. So it always felt like they were on the back foot. They were never halting G-Force. They were always escaping from G-Force.
Yeah, they were literally just kiting the entire round, but kiting involves living and it involves giving space. It's okay to give space if you have numbers and if you're getting poked, but you are always 5v6 if you're DSP this entire round. I like that they made the swap over because he should not be playing Reinhardt into this board composition because Strider, Wep, and Madero completely tore you apart. That's what they're designed to do, and that's exactly what they did. But for DSP now, they've got to go and they've got to attack themselves. They've got to blitz through an equal time bank. It's possible because we saw G-Force slumber, we saw G-Force fall apart in some of these important fights as we did on Oasis as well. But it's going to be difficult. It's going to be so hard. The 1-for-1 trade actually does benefit DSP. This is a good opportunity for them to try and find an engage and finally take down Madero.
Yeah, Ultimate Wep has been such a terror for this squad. Removing them from play should allow them to breeze on through. And now with such a close engagement, actually, this is going to be an issue here for Jason. They do have some support. They will be able to walk on through. The health pack doesn't help them here. And so it is all about chasing down those flankers, and they're succeeding at this point, but now another one comes through. Ultima Wep throws their life away, and essentially this fight along with it.
Yep, that fight is going to be flushed away. It is going to be down and out. DSP get themselves a really, really important first fight. If you ask me, they get space, they get time, and more importantly now, once again, G-Force have to rotate into them. Their comp is absolutely fine with doing that, but it just gives Joshua and Shaq on this Zen Yard to Sigma combo a great chance to set up angle, to set up space, and set up poke. If they manage to find, most importantly, poke onto someone like Madero, then Jason and Glacial will collapse with that two-man dive and take them down. Ooh, Pumi falls first. That's no EMP late in the fight.
Well, Transcendence coming in through Madero. They'll hold on, but it's all about poking. No one is diving, and this doesn't feel like a super effective Transcendence, but it does keep everyone alive, and in turn, Jazza will fall. Ultima Wep feeling the pressure. They will be able to escape for now, but in turn, it is a return of Strider. They've done it. But no, in the end, it doesn't even matter. An EMP will stall them for naught. They can still ride on through with 3 dead on G-Force.
Wow, Pumi's EMPs we saw there. I thought it would have been the turning factor. It was so big, but I guess rally differential from Gunther coming in. Some vet experience. Gunther been around the scene. Been around the scene for quite a while. It's what they needed. Definitely having that additional armor. Once again, we're in Overwatch 1, not in Overwatch 2. It gives armor. It does not give additional HP, so it made DSP so tanky, and they're able to just roll in the point through it. Now G-Force give up EMP to be able to get this hold. This steam train, slowly it's picking up steam for DSP, and potentially with this float it could get even better.
Oh, great start. Oh my god, 3 dead. The fight's over as soon as it began. Make it 4. They'll ride on through. No problem at all.
It shocked me. I thought there was going to be some form of resistance from G-Force. They had the ultimates to do it. They were coming up on them as well, but DSP completely changing tempo from how they were. They were so staggered. They were so lost on attack. Lost, but now on defense, they definitely looked very staggered and very confused. But now on attack, they're playing with purpose, and they're playing with a clear sense of identity and aggression. Speaking of aggression, Jason gets a little bit too aggressive. Jazza trades back, but he falls himself to a full spawn.
Okay, this is ult back and forth. There's the Gravitic Flux. It does stall a little bit as they're getting way too deep in the territory of G-Force. It might have to cause a reset. Gunther does have some help, but they will have to back off. You know, you want to keep Glacial alive along with you, as the cavalry will return in your favor.
Web falling is actually quite an important pick from Joshua. G-Force really want to try and destabilize his core and just stop it, because this entire time it has still been moving. Jazza falls out. Could this be the pick that finally halts the cart for DSP?
I think it might be with Anyhow finally removing 2, and you've got this Sigma. They're stuck. Joshua doesn't have much of an escape route. They will have the Discord Orb on them, along with the Harmony, so a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of healing, but in the end, they will succumb to the damage of Strider as well, and they have nothing else to do. Ultima Wep, in conjunction with Strider, they will finally find their stride.
Oh,
get back in.
Oh, Joshua went for the flux at the end there, managed to quite catch it. Lost. He went for the flux against Anyhow to try and solo kill him, but he fell. Such an important ultimate is that Gravitic Flux. You can lift people up and make them prime targets for a mines, a slam, or any form of burst damage to come out from your Zen and your long-range hit stand that you have with the Ash in this composition. It's such an important ultimate wasted now for DSP. Let's see if G-Force can punish it. Looks like they do. Glacial falls early.
Glacial. Here's an interesting high ground minefield. Oh, Jason trying to get below, but they can't seem to squeeze between the pipes. Regardless, they do have that fire. They can assist the rest of their squad, and opposing minefields will kick this battlefield in the hands of G-Force. All this long-range capabilities from Pumi is doing too much damage for Dude Sleepover Party to deal with, especially when they're so far away from their supports.
Yeah, oh, Jason, not quite skinny enough to be able to shimmy themselves down into that underbelly and look for it, but I mean on the opposite side as well. G-Force hitting an absolutely fat engage. Now Wep is on the Tracer, looking to take control of these high grounds, and most importantly, poke out Shaq and Gunther and massively pressure Joshua as well. Sigma is not good against flankers, and that's exactly what Wep is on here to try and bully with to try and bully with Strider in tow as well. Their main target will be Shaq. Let's see if they can fend off the dive and keep the Sun alive.
Staying alive, narrowly avoiding that Gravitic Flux, but it will at least bring 1 in. However, the support is there. It doesn't find any kills Anyhow, taking a ton of damage at the top of the staircase, but it's okay. They've got this side alley under their control, and now the Transcendence changes the story. Now there's a bit more pressure as Madero brings one of their own. It's just an ult for ult, and whoever has more in the end might be able to win. Here's Joshua. This time the Gravitic Flux does make the connection. They won't lose out on this one. Not this time. They can't lose it again, but there's such little health for them to deal with. They have the support, but in the end, G-Force does fall.
There we go. They managed to drain so much time bank, but G-Force finally fell. It was a Lapras impression from Joshua because that was a Periton on that ultimate. Everyone fell down. There was no ultimates left for either side. The wells had been drained completely dry as well your average summer drought. Jazza, though, taking down Madera. That's a key piece for G-Force down in this fight in DSP. They need to keep the momentum rolling with this rally that Gunter's now committed if they want to take this second point. If they can find the Ashe here of Pumi, it could be a great chance to snowball as well. Can they kill the Ashe?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of pressure over onto Ashe. I mean, Pumi somehow survives, somehow stays alive. Strider through that falls again. Glacial working to destroy that Bob, but they will fall as well. The Pumi's poke is too strong. Oh, Jason, now all alone. The last one on the objective. They have to be able to survive this out, wait for the rest of the crew to come on through, but it doesn't work. Pumi's damage over time is too strong to contest, and G-Force again take map 2.
Wow, Pumi on the Ashe, the queen of the Deadlock gang, breaking the deadlock there against DSP. It was all momentum in their favor. They finally managed to do it. G-Force, though, to be fair, did a great job of stalling out second, playing that time bank ever so smartly, just about winning that fight as it went down. It was definitely a lack of awareness and a lack of confidence from DSP to be able to call the reset that came in, but great play from G-Force. They managed it so well, and they could not kill Pumi. As I said, they looked like they had it primed on the target. The Ashe lived, and well, you can't leave the Ashe alive there because they managed to take down 3 in that fight by themselves. 3 solo kills, at least 2 of them 100% being solo kills. Nice headshot onto the Tracer of DSP as well to take them down. And G-Force, I mean, DSP punished for not killing the Ashe in that last fight, punished for not being able to reset on second point, and it's not quite sort of study level mistakes, not quite entry level mistakes, but DSP definitely not engaging in the macro game and not being as precise as they should be. And G-Force, well, I mean, Lost, they've punished the mistakes from their opposition so well, basically every time off cooldown.
Yeah, it was such an amazing display of how the rest of this crew was able to keep Pumi alive. Ashe barely fell in that second round, and I think it's a tale of 2 rounds and 2 DPS. It was Ultima Wep on the attack when they were on the Echo. Just so much dominance from the sky, and you also have to give major props to Angelic.
Yep.
The support, Mercy pocketed them. That's the latest pickup from this squad. Only got him in May 15th. So very new addition to this team, which has been competing throughout 2022. But on the other side, Pumi on the Ashe, no one would get past their defense, and their poke was crazy inside the distillery. So these are 2 players, as we said, the macro, getting them out of the game is of utmost importance.
Yeah, I think most importantly as well to G-Force, Angelic has looked very solid, looked very stable on this Brigitte as well. When you have someone who, as lethal as we've seen as Madero on this Zenyatta, when you can go over to the Mercy to pocket Wep as well, it just gives your team 2 different dimensions. You can play around the Echo in the air with the Mercy, or you can go over to the Brigitte and you can play around the Zen of Madera as well. And bringing in Angelic is clearly, I mean, it's been Angelic itself. It's wonders. It's been working heavenly wonders for them, clearly, because G-Force, yes, they're winning. They're playing dominantly. They are sort of effectively one-tricking this ball composition, but there's 2 different variants on the attack. On Oasis, they played the dive variant where they went very aggressively for the enemy flex support. They did that consistently time after time. Now on Oasis, they play the range advantage. They pull out the Sigma and they play the poke variant, and they play that really well as well. So it's not just a we go bald, we go for enemy backline, we dive, we roll face kind of composition. G4, sorry, are showing adaptability. They're showing variance, and for a board composition, that's rare. And I mean, it's got them 2 map wins so far. It's really impressive to see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they could continue on through this. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep this progress up. That could be looking at a 3-0 here. I mean, we have seen DSP.
Maybe.
They've had good moments here, but in the end, it does feel in those critical 1v1s, they're making slight mistakes. And I think one that we could point out is Joshua sacrificing that Gravitic Flux going against anyhow. That was a critical error to make. You're going to need that in the fight that presumed right after that, you can spawn, come back, fine. But if you're working in conjunction with your team and you bring that out, that is going to be so much more important than a 1v1.
Yeah, I understand it's the definition of an ego play. Both those Sigmas were locked in it to the death. It was full anime battle style, but it's a game, it's a team game. You needed that flux in the next fight because when else are you going to use it? Such great targets, so many squishy, so many high value, low HP targets. If you just catch them in the flux, they are absolutely dead. Just were wasting it. Again, it snowballed from there. We saw them do it on Oasis as well. They used the EMP when they were 3 down. It snowballed from there. And DSP, they are on the right piece of the composition. I think they stayed on the rush a little bit too long. They didn't play the mirror too well. DSP, just go back over to the 6-man. Get onto the Sombra. You did so well on that. Get back onto the Lucia Moira. That is so much harder to dive than the Bridge Zen, because the Zen without Transcendence looks so squishy for the side of DSP. Do not engage in this poke war with GeForce. But I believe we are we going to be throwing it to break? I'm actually not quite sure if we are going to be throwing it to a break before we get into map 3, but it is going to be first to 3. So GeForce, I mean, they're 1 map away. DSP have to reverse sweep, and I think it's going to require some big adaptations if they have any chance of doing so.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, this has not been their most favored map. I mean, library or university, it was a great moment. It was a great moment for DSP. Unfortunately, it wasn't broadcasted, but this is where they showed great strength and just sticking together, being able to not. Now we are going to be going to King's Row. I'm excited for it. Maybe not many fans of Overwatch who have seen this so many times every single series, but you know what? Hey, I'm always going to be a fan of King's Row. Everybody knows this map. Everyone's practiced this map, even though DSP, it's a bit of a pug team, so this is a pickup game map. This is something that, regardless of how long you've been practicing with your squad, you should be able to come together with some sort of solid strategy, but I think it all starts in their beginning engagement and how they're going to stop GeForce from entering that initial choke point.
I think most importantly, if there is one map in the game that the Wrecking Ball is not effective and cannot be able to roam free, it is King's Row. This map is very linear, it is very tight, it's very compact, it is very corridor-like. It's like a Call of Duty campaign at this point, isn't it? It's very tight and narrowed. It's one long corridor the entire way through from first point to third point, and that is not good for Wrecking Ball, because Wrecking Ball needs angles, he needs pincers, and he needs time to rotate, and he needs space, most importantly. So GeForce, I mean, a little bit of a map diff potentially coming in. DSP, they've gone on to the perfect composition, they've gone on to the 6-man, they read it. Now, can they execute? It's all about nullifying Strider. If they can force him back, then they can focus their pressure onto Weapon Angelic, who are going to be a real damage threat over time in the skies on this Echo Mercy.
Pumi? Nope, won't stick around with the Widowmaker, but that's okay. But the real focus will be on Ultima Wep. When they're on the Echo, this has been such an insane player. And yeah, it's going through. They will have that support of Angelic and allow Jishiro to just get a few more shots installed, but it will fall eventually. Oh, Jason, though, is looking to cause some chaos. They have that bubble to keep themselves safe, but no one's really looking at them. Now that the focus is on, they've got no chance of escape, and it's 3 dead again for DSP.
Oh, Glacial found such a nice pick as well to take down anyhow, but the Diva Jishua got a little bit too aggressive, tried to man-mark Ultimate Wep a bit too much, but the Mercy Pocket came in once the defense matrix from that Diva of Jishua came down. They just got one-tapped. The damage of Echo, unreal when you combine it with the Mercy Pocket as well. If there was a Discord there, they would have died in 3 seconds less as well. Just so much damage with this combo, with this Echo and the backline duo. So dangerous. Jishua is playing with fire, engaging with this Echo, even though he's supposed to counter him, and it's leaving GeForce, it's leaving Strider with so much space to be able to operate and get these slams that we're seeing him do now.
Oh, and they're building up to that minefield as well, but not much that we could see in terms of ultimate capability. Sure, oh, Jason as well as that Pulse Bomb could be a good move, but they're never close enough, never able to take the engagements to the face without losing so much health, just closing the gap. But now we've got the area denied, the minefield is down, and Gunther is gone. There goes your healing Shack out of position, unable to provide those heals inside this pub, and this is just a massacre.
It really is. DSP just falls, they crumble. Nice ultimates from GeForce, so they get the ultimates to snowball and they take nice control of the street. Strider's minefield, I believe, was in the back line. It left Gunther between a rock and a hard place. So unfortunately, it was straight back to the spawn. Nowhere for that Lucio to go. Unfortunate. DSP now, though, they do have the ultimates to come back. These are probably the two best ones that you could get in this composition, the two main win conditions, the Coalescence and the EMP. They have to be big, they have to go early, and it looks like Pumi goes before them with G-Force. The bomb comes in, anyhow, finds 3. Great bomb.
Okay, well, there's the objective right there. No more need to worry about that one. Let's talk about the next fight now.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, DSP, the win condition is exactly the same now. They can't get EMP bombed, right? Lost, so that's one less combo off the field. They've only got to go into the Transcendence, but if DSP, if the Sombra, Jezza can hit them, then... then I mean, Madero just falls instantly with that shield being removed. The Coalescence are going to start with. Let's see how they do. They get Strider. I mean, that's one piece of the puzzle down. DSP, can they finally win a fight?
That was overconfidence and commitment coming through from Strider, but Ultima Weapon, the backline, they are fighting against this Winston, and that may have been a bit too aggressive because now they've lost on basically everyone. It's got to be a full reset here with 3 dead.
Yep, full reset, 3 back to the spawn. Honestly, DSP slowly but surely, this is such a Herculean, colossal time back that they're going to have to defend against, but only using Coalescence in that fight gives them an all-important one ultimate fight win. So important for Econ, because you know you're going to get EMP'd eventually. Now you've got yourself, you can go first, and it looks like DSP are going to go with this EMP and find 3.
The EMP, but doesn't even come to fruition. I mean, anyhow, it's just having the time of their life, but it does focus off the 2 supports. They've lost out on them. However, it won't be all roses and kills here for DSP, as they've losing 2. Big time usage of that minefield, and it creates such a lack of space for DSP to play with regardless. They won't be able to come out on top. G-Force does have to reset.
Did they get too aggressive? I wouldn't for sure if DSP had flown too close to the sun, Icarus style, but no, it looks like they are going to hold. Angelic's Valkyrie is forced, so the wings have to come out to keep their team alive. That allows Strider to get damage increased on the engages. Jazza is one shot. That's no Sombra, that's no hard. And G-Force, as quickly as you can snap your fingers, as quickly as gravity takes place, DSP just completely crumbled.
My God, the tracking that Ultima Web is bringing is bringing a tear to my eye. This is just a class act of Echo gameplay. Sure, we're going to have this last-ditch effort of Jason jump onto the objective, but they won't be able to get much further than that. Great sticky bombs regardless. Strider and Ultima Web, they have done a phenomenal job at defending, or really aggressing into the spawn. Joshua Shore, last-ditch effort, not going to happen. 3 minutes and 19 seconds in the time bank of G-Force.
Honestly, DSP had some valiant fights there. They had some very, very noble efforts. They were able to quell the many, many threats, basically 6 threats, 5 threats that G-Force came out, but it was just so difficult. And this is really the trouble going against a bold composition when you're that good at it and when your Wrecking Ball is that good, because Strider is someone that needs to be looked at. Ultimate Web is someone that needs to be looked at. You cannot give Pumi space on themselves as well, because they will generate an EMP and they will blow up your team in half a second because of it. Madero is also doing so much damage from the backline and winning 1v1s against Glacial on this Tracer as well, and anyhow is being able to poke out on the Sigma to provide important defensive resources to the rest of his team. That Matrix covering the engage from Strider and the disengage from Wep on that Echo so well. It's so difficult for DSP to play against them when G-Force are working this mechanically, this methodically, and so far it's all falling into pace. It's all falling into place. Sorry, it is. They're doing a jigsaw blindfolded, but they're doing it with one hand tied behind their back, and they're absolutely acing it. G-Force, anything that DSP's been able to throw at them has just been batted away over the fields and out of the park. So great play from G-Force. This Wrecking Ball composition, it's so hard to play Lost, but they're making it look so easy.
Now at this point, they don't have many tools to deal with. Maybe the coach gun is a minor impact against Strider in the back line, but they do have Gunther with the shield bash, so it could be a good tool to stop them from causing chaos. But really, in the end, this poke composition, we've seen how they tried to duel it out back on Havana with Pumi on the Ashe, and they are a critical piece of this puzzle. And if you can't put the pressure on them, which we're seeing, they don't even have the tools to get onto this ledge, it's going to be a nightmare for DSP.
Yeah, this dynamite as well from Pumi is not to be underestimated. He's going to do a great job at shredding away the armor of DSP, and any chance you get to butter up someone like Gunther, Joshua, and Jason, who all have armor on the enemy composition, it means that there we go, the pants can come in. That's a nano onto Jason. Now that's been built up extraordinarily fast, but loss. Jason can't dive, he can't go anywhere, he has to disengage.
He gets up there, but there's been immediate reversal. They went to a different window, and they were waiting for that dive from Jason. So it feels the ultimate was wasted, and the counterattack led by Angelic is just divine.
Yeah, it's so good. Support on support crime there going on. Angelic finds his opposite number, and he finds Shaq with those left clicks, with those whips of that flail. Going down, 2 minutes 46 left on the clock, though. Now, I've really got to think about where DSP can go. The nano, the primary win condition for their kind of comp, that's down. Shaq needs to rebuild that. DSP, they need to take their time. They need to play angles like GeForce are doing so well to them, and if they can find Madero, they will at least force out the Transcendence, which means for the next fight, hopefully, they should be able to find their target man. The prime goal, the prime head is Madero's right now. For DSP, you need to kill that Zenyatta.
Huge use of that minefield, but it might be Strider a little too much dip on their chip. In the end, they should be able to escape, or at least they're just causing a major distraction. Hey, yeah, fight me, shoot at me. It gives you less time to focus on the real damage dealer of Boomy in the back line, Glacial. Every time they want to contest this backline area, it's always won by Ultimate Wet. They don't have a chance, but it starts off here with the Bob going out onto the objective. Well, what else is the follow-up? Finally, it's Winston back in play. Oh my. It's Bob on Bob crime. We were talking support on support. It's Bob on Bob. This is not looking good for DSP. They're sending out the ultimates, but nothing is working. No avail. They do have that primal rage. It creates a little bit of space, but that's it. They have to concede it immediately, and Jason falls, or they will be in a few seconds.
Whilst the answer was comedic, it just shows how much control GeForce have on this game, because DSP had to engage with that Bob onto the point to force pressure, but GeForce, they just said, you're going to send your Bob to point? Okay, we'll go and say hello to him with our friendly neighborhood robot as well. Nice TM just to get Madera out. He was on low HP as the shields were regenerating. DSP have gone over to double bubble. Joshua going to pull out the Zarya. As Gunther goes in the rally, this armor has to stack. It's so important to give them resistances against this burn damage. Killing Web, though, this is the fight for DSP. It is now or never for them.
Jason jumping back up, but there is a lot of pressure coming up from the top. The healing is there, so they should be fine for now. Glacial getting the damage that they've been waiting to secure for so long in this round. Maybe this is the opportunity for DSP to claim this objective, but it doesn't seem to be the case. That's 2 dead there for DSP. And what else are they working with? Joshua might have the bubbles at hand, but nothing else. No one's on the objective, and the clock is ticking down.
There's so much ultimate trading going on. Both teams pressing Q right and forth, one after the other. Unfortunately for DSP, GeForce have just been more billionaires this entire time. They've got so much in the bank, consistently so much in stock for them. Bob getting sleep though from Pumi could be an entry level, but Jason falls with 10 seconds under left on the clock. They're going to have to use any they can and pray, but they're just getting torn apart. It's blue after blue on the left side, on the right side of the kill feed, and GeForce, dominant fashion, they're going to take the 3-0 and send DSP down and out.
What a downfall of DSP, or at least our hopes for DSP, and an insane capabilities of GeForce that has been displayed here. I'm happy to see that this squad is able to perfect what they've done, but also, quick sidebar, what a nasty combo of the EMP and the self-destruction. I think once that happened, I was like, okay, well, that's gonna be this fight.
Yeah, EMP bomb is something that I think a lot of coaches at that high level will actually slap teams on the wrist for doing, because unless you're playing against a bunker composition, it's actually not that good. But I'm gonna hold off on the nerd emoji stuff, because it's such a nice combo. The EMP forced them into a tight room and perfectly placed on the Diva bomb. It was such a good throw from anyhow. Steph Curry level range, just completely sunk it. And I mean, splash. Like, I don't know what else to say. DSP just fall over. It is absolutely an early bedtime for them. And unfortunately for them, it's just a synergy diff. GeForce looked so methodical. They looked so organized with their play, and they're going to be moving on into our bracket. Going forward, they'll lost. What do we... Let's not put them on too much of a pedestal. When we're looking at GeForce, what are the gaps that DSP, Dude Sleepover Party, I'll say the name one more time before it gets lost into the abyss. Such a great
Rip.
name to say. Rest in peace, absolutely. I'm sure they'll be back. But focusing on GeForce, where did they fall down? Where are the weaknesses that can be exploited by some of the better teams as they move on and up in this tournament?
I think it's just the reliance of the Wrecking Ball. Strider becoming a Wrecking Ball main, I think that's going to be an issue. If you aren't seeing them have any versatility and you encounter a team that actually knows how to deal with it, that can react perfectly to a Wrecking Ball die from Striver, and what are they going to do? Where's the versatility? Where is the adaptability that we could see? Now, I mean, if they have more tricks under their sleeve, I'd like to
Ready
see it. But
birds.
I want to see more versatility in your hero pool. We need
Yeah.
more because if that is all you've got, of course you do it perfectly. But if that's all you got and it is being countered, you're going to be in serious trouble going up ahead. And as you get further, the teams are only going to get better.
Yeah, it is the question of, is Strider the man who has practiced one kick 1,000 times or a couple of kicks 1,000 times? That saying kind of falls apart. In defense of GeForce, to be fair, they didn't really need to pull anything else out because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it was never even fractured the entire series, really. GeForce always felt in control outside of University, where honestly, they just hyperpanicked. We were saying as we were getting the vocal warm up and watching map one, didn't we? They clambered into a tight room against Sombra, and I was essentially flaming them like, what are you doing? It's cynical that they were doing that, but it's not what they wanted to do. But apart from that sort of university incident, is I'm sure what they'll talk about it in VOD review. GeForce played the rest of the series so well. They had a clear identity, and as we said, yes, they definitely are a ball OTP team loss, but they had the poke variant and they had the dive variant. What beats both of them? I think 6-man, if they run into a really hard OTP 6-man team, they're going to have a lot of trouble, but I'm not sure how many of those exist in NA Open Division at this point. I think there's maybe only one or two, which is going to be really good for GeForce as they continue in this tournament.
Might have to get some EMEA transplants to jump into this one, but
Probably, yeah.
Until then, GeForce is having an optimistic future here in the OD bracket, but we're not done with Open Division just yet. This is going to be our first match of the day. We've got one more coming up at you, I believe, the losers bracket, so don't go anywhere. More Open Division action continues right after this.
you